Broadcasting live from the Schwebel room. Beat down Brown. Eddie B.
Dirty.
Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Dirty.
Dirty. Dirty.
Tell the people more about the advantages of our product.
They never lose their cool.
Expand your mind. But I've got a better source of information.
Dirty.
What's going on? Dirty 30 beat down Brown at Deo Duma with the mini cam.
What's good, fam?
Chilling out, family. Chilling out, man. Ready to get into another one, man.
All right, let's go.
All right, you hit me with another interesting one, and it's not interesting. How can I say it? It is interesting because of what he did.
Mhm.
But outside of being interesting because of what he did, it's interesting because he recently had some comments, and it goes back to what we were talking about with the last episode. And so we're going to go in here, jump in. Nelly sells a select catalog assets, getting himself a reported $50 million, man, to Harborview Equity Partners.
So,
That's wild, man.
How do you feel about dudes or artists, and not just dudes, artists, period, selling their catalog? How do you? I never even picked your brain on that one. How do you feel about that this new phenomenon that they're doing, like just cashing out right now instead of trying to wait on royalties and all that other shit? How do you feel about that?
One thing going on right now, this goes into shout out Deeper Dives Dialogue Unlimited. This kind of slides into their territory a little bit.
Okay.
Going back when Bill Clinton was in office, and he went and signed the Telecommunications Act, and the Telecom Act kind of smashed small radio.
Got it.
So tertiary radio got smashed during that and allowed for monopolies to really take over radio. And in that, kind of even allowed for TV stations to take over and go and conglomerate, which means you weren't going with independent programming in all these situations, okay? So therefore, you don't have as much college radio. You don't have your mom and pop radio stations. Shout out to 102 Jams, WRBP, local brand back in the day.
Hot FM 108. Go ahead, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? All this Whammo, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Yes, sir.
They still Whammo, I think, is still around, but you get my point. It didn't allow for regional radio. It didn't allow for mom and pops radio stations to really exist and thrive anymore. So with that fucked up real royalties. I understand that there was a lot of payola involved, but there was a lot of people that were making royalties off of radio play. And that all got smashed up because now you're going into pre-programmed
digital. Yeah.
You're going to digital pre-programmed, people buying cards, buying services to actually set their playlist rather than literal having the DJ.
People call in like, hey, please put this on, and they spinning it back. Remember, we had days where you could hear the same song back to back on the radio.
Exactly.
That would never happen these days. But go ahead, man. I understand where you're coming from.
So with that being the case of killing tertiary radio, satellite radio is going that same way, and then streaming doesn't pay shit.
That part, I'm glad you landed on that. I think that's the main reason why these people are cashing out.
So what they're looking at is the only way to still make money from your catalogs is sync licenses, and this even goes and flips to Hollywood not doing and this is a whole other thing, once again going over to that deeper dives into things. Hollywood cut out the budgets because they're only going for popcorn blockbusters right now or
Mhm.
independent films. So the mid-tier budgets for movies that like comedies, stuff that are more so dramas, not necessarily high-end actors that you would see before. That's what birthed your American Pies and stuff like that. All
Right.
that's dead right now. So if you're noticing, I ain't getting a whole bunch of comedies right now. That's why, because they killed that mid-tier budget because people aren't truly, everything's going once again to streaming. It's
Streaming.
going to Netflix, going to Hulu, and everything else. So they don't have where, oh, we're making money off of a budget that's, we'll just say 30 million as compared to 300 million on the budget. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? You're not making those movies. That's where artists like Nelly and all these other artists were making their sync license fees, because you might have a comedy that got "If you want to go and take a ride with me" on
Right.
the commercial.
Right.
Now everything is looking for the big Eminem song,
Yep.
the screw version of a Biggie cut. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying, using Beyonce for the stuff like that, getting Taylor Swift songs. So he's like, yo, I need to capitalize. If y'all can sell it for commercials or whatever, and also with people going more so to streaming, the actual TV services, commercials aren't running like that anymore and aren't paying like that anymore for all these big ticket songs.
Mhm.
Because we're going to run you, besides Super Bowl and stuff like that, events that knows they're going to put butts in the seats, because it's like, nah, they going to go to Peacock, they going to go to
Hulu.
Netflix, they going to
Yeah.
go to Amazon Prime Video.
Mhm.
So where can I run a commercial at? So I'm not paying for your song to go on a commercial. So it sucks, because you would love to see these people hold on to their ownership. For the people that
Right.
do actually own their stuff, that was the big thing of like, not everybody gets to own their shit. So
Right.
for somebody that actually owns their shit, it's like it'd be nice to see them hold on. On the flip side of it, if you have, this is a, I don't know what Nelly's financial situation looks like, okay?
Mhm.
But I don't think he's in a young buck situation where
I
I'm
don't think
selling my,
he's even close. Yeah, I
like,
don't
I
think he's
know
even
he's
close
got
to
that.
that.
I know he's got a couple mansions that he can't sell off. That's kind of like eating at his
Mhm.
pocket. But I don't think he's at that bad of a situation. So it's more so of a cash grab for him,
Yeah.
possibly diversifying to another lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What he's going to do with the funds. But it sucks on the other end of that, because it's just like, dang, dog, I would like to see you hold it, because, like we said, who gets to actually own their masters? We talk about J. Cole just buying his stuff back from Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Excuse me, from Rock Nation. He just bought his masters back and all like that. You would like to see cats hold on to him. But at the same time, while you'd like to see cats hold on to him, I respect it. You know, get your cash out of it now, because it could be greatly devaluing until they figure all this out. And
People don't have that kind of time, and they want to set up stuff, especially if they have, families. They got, kids out here.
mhm,
Nobody's promised tomorrow. And why
yeah,
not get the cash while you can and set it up, like you said, put it up for your family, because this streaming thing is just, it's terrible. You got to damn near do 1 billion just to get a couple thousand. It's like, how does that work? You know what I mean?
when
It's like, well, people paid 99 cents for the song or whatever, and you get a half a penny or some shit, some crazy. The split is rape. I'm sorry,
well,
grape. Go ahead.
Well, what's even crazier than that is you're speaking about iTunes. iTunes, you get a better percentage of. When you're talking about streaming, it's vaporwave. It's, the numbers don't even exist.
I know, I
At
know.
least in iTunes
iTunes, but that's
and
just
everything
one.
else, you're
I'm just saying
buying.
that's just the one lane. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's just that one lane where you could get it. But the rest of them, there's so many of them out there that's not paying shit.
no,
So yeah, cash out.
yeah.
Cash
So
out, man. At least it's not everything. It's some, not as full catalog. It's what half. It said an article was just
yeah,
a few
like
select joints.
let, let's see. You got the fact of what is in this one. So Ride With Me is in there. Dilemma, Hot in Here, which was both toppers there, but it doesn't sound like Country Grammar doesn't sound like it's in it. Um, Shake Your Tail Feather is in there, but yeah, he's doing it. What's crazy is I don't think that country joint is in there, which was a smart power move. Was it All in My Head? I don't think that's in there. Country Grammar isn't in there, which is literally his definitive.
Yeah, he's not. He's like you say. I don't think he's hurting. He just sees an opportunity.
Yeah, and
You know,
I don't see that Air Force Ones was included in it. There's certain joints that are definitive because one, just on some real stuff, I wouldn't let go of Air Force Ones for the simple fact that you could cut a side deal with Nike when they go and do a reissue in like about 10 years. Hey, we gonna bring back the classics.
Why you think it ain't on the list? He knows
that's what I'm saying.
I got to do is just buy some time.
Yeah, he might already have that deal set up. Like, hey, okay, in 15 years, when you do a reissue of the classic one or an anniversary, you know, what's the check for? What's the check for this song?
Right. So
I'm not only going
to get a signature shoe, I'm gonna get another deal, you know, on the back end with that directly to me. So yeah, definitely said it was selective. It wasn't like he just, you know, pulled a crackhead move and sold everything. You know, had a fire sale. Nah, he was selective, which is smart, you know. So
now, one thing I was speaking about his comments before, he was on a podcast and he said something that was, or he was on Revolt TV, I don't recall. But he said one thing, and I want you to weigh in on this one before we move along. He said, and I quote, "I came out in the hardest era in hip hop to run," and I'll go there and say it's not the hardest period, but it was the hardest to be commercially viable because it was the commercially viable era. How do you feel about that comment?
I think he was spot on. He was right. He was right. It wasn't like you said the hardest, but it was as far as that commercial success, getting that more bang for your buck and getting in there and getting your shine. Oh, definitely, man. He named all the people. Damn, who was he on? I saw a clip of that, man. And yeah, he was like, man, he named all the people. What, DMX, our list from last show.
Exactly.
You know, that was
he's like, I'm battling Mace. I'm battling because he wasn't directly going up against Big. Big was gone by that time.
Right.
But he's battling Mace. He's battling Puff. He's battling the resurgence of Nas.
And also coming from where he's from the Midwest or whatever, that whole aspect alone, that's why he felt the weight, because it was the South, it was the East and the West. Yeah, nobody was checking for the Midwest.
I'm battling Luda. I'm battling So Def.
All
and
that.
I respected the fact that he acknowledged how much of a monster Luda was. He's like T.I. came up during my era. I'm going up against T.I.
Yeah.
I'm going against Jay. I'm going up against Ja Rule.
And he held his own.
50.
He held his own, because when you talk about that era, you can't leave him out. So he held his own, you know, and he was spot on when he made that comment. He was damn right. That was the competition was fierce. I'm not gonna say it was hard. It was just the competition was there at that time. Oh yeah.
Dog, like you said, he's not from Atlanta.
At all.
He's not from Miami. Trick Daddy was a monster. Trick Daddy and Trina was a monster during that era. Lil Jon during that
was a monster. That's all that Atlanta. That's all. Come on, man. All that whole, they had their run, and he's trying to, you know, do his thing with the dirty ENT, you know. And
thank you. That was the label, Dirty ENT.
Dirty ENT. Yeah. So man.
And the funny part about it was, for the most part, he wasn't associated with anybody. If you really go at it, like, you would get the Atlanta cats would mess around with the Atlanta cats and deal with cats, and even mess with East Coast cats. You know, you would get cats bouncing around. Luda got a lot of love a lot of places. One, because he was a cat that could actually rip. But besides being a cat that could actually rip, that Def Jam connection spoke volumes. And then the fact of the matter of his personality spoke volumes. So Luda was bouncing around a little bit everywhere, messing with a little bit of everybody. I mean, Rockefeller, it's Rockefeller. Rockefeller was Jay was able to go and work with whoever he wanted to, thus hopping on the Ha remix and everything else.
Ridiculous.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was he could basically pick where he wanted to go and who he did or did not want to mess with.
Mhm.
Even, you know what I'm saying, sitting up and working with Dupree going and messing around on the East Coast, whether it's messing with Bad Boy or whatever. Everybody else was able to kind of click up a little bit.
It was
Master P
Nelly.
going and grabbing Snoop, you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Nelly was
And
on an
bringing him
island
in.
by himself and his
was-
team. It was Nelly and the St. Lunatics. That was it. There was nobody. There was no collabing until he blew up, and he
Yeah.
made a name for himself, and he marketed himself.
Yeah,
Geniusly.
and he got on with Kelly Rowland, and that's about it. I mean,
That's
it's
it.
like
Mhm.
everybody was really broken off on islands, man. That was right
Mhm.
after the East Coast West Coast beef. So you had folks who kind of went messing with certain stuff then, besides, like I said, running down south and associating.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry for being disrespectful. Excuse me as I do another honorable mention. Coming from the Midwest, it was only Bone, Nelly. That's it. That was it.
Well,
That's
see,
all you had from the Midwest.
here goes the crazy thing about Bunk. Oh, wait, we are the most disrespectful. We are the absolute most disrespectful. Talking about Midwest and talking about Impact and talking about who Nelly had to go up against. And he first when he said he was going up against Ye, dog.
Sorry, you're right. God dang.
He was going up against
Ye.
Kanye,
Yep,
man.
the height of Ye. The
Ye
backpack Ye. Yeah.
He was going up against Backpack Ye right before he became like Dragon Ball Z Ye. Right before he became Dragon Ball Z Ye.
I knew you was going
Kanye then had besides having a glow in the dark tour,
Yeah.
he literally glowed in the dark, man. Homeboy went
Yeah.
Super Saiyan on that one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah,
You're right.
Nelly
Man.
was absolutely right about
Yes.
how rough it was
Mhm.
for him doing it. And like I said, Fifth, boy, and
The monster.
and to go up against Fifth during that time and not draw the ire of Fifth, as far as we know.
Yeah.
You was doing your thing. You was fighting with him on the charts, and for him not to be a victim of him
and take a shot at him and have him try to ja rule you. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
That's big, man. So yeah, shout out to Nelly and shout out to this move, man.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, like I said, it turns into something else. I
Mhm.
also don't see pimp juice on that list
There
either,
you go.
which is
There you
another
go.
thing that can get flipped into something else besides the
Always.
fact that he put it out at one
Always.
point. So
Always.
I count this as a possible smart business decision. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And he's on tour with Janet right now, so
Boom.
he
He eating. He's still
he-
eating.
he-
Yeah,
he
he's
doing
still
his
eating. He all right. But yeah, shout out to Nelly, the whole St. Lunatics clique. And yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, fam.
Yeah. So going out of that, big news. Snoop got there, Cube got there,
I think
Ice
M
T
got
got
his.
there. I believe M got his, and now finally they stopped bullshitting. Dre got his Walk of Fame star, man.
I still don't understand how long. Come on, man. Like, what does a brother got to do? You know what I mean? To get that accolade, man. God dang, seriously. This late in the game, the brother, we damn near didn't even have Dre. What was it, a year ago? Shit, he was almost up out of there.
Oh yeah,
You know,
well
and
that's the
now
second
they
time.
finally.
Remember, he flipped the
Shit.
Lambo first.
Yeah, see, yeah. So now, after everybody else, it's like, dude, he's the reason why these dudes are even out and doing their thing, and he don't get the nod first. I don't understand how that works.
Here goes the craziness and the weirdness for why it operates that way. And I do agree with you. Like, okay, this is some bull. I don't get it.
Mhm.
He's a producer. Cube and Ice-T go first because they're directly in acting.
Okay.
And directly in filmmaking.
Okay.
Snoop, with his associations in film and TV, him with Martha Stewart, him with his own, what do you have, a game show at one point or something like that?
Snoop had everything at one point.
He had everything.
Yeah.
Like Snoop might have, on the low, had a network and we didn't know about it and he dropped it. Like, did you know that Snoop owns 50% of HGTV? I mean, like we don't
Wouldn't
know.
be surprised. Yeah.
Snoop is wild with it. So you got those things, and then Eminem is just Eminem. Besides the fact of 8 Mile and he's
Right.
produced other movies, it's the fact that like literally his song is, and his song produced by him, not produced by Dre. His
Right.
song produced by him is like literally any, and this ain't a race thing, but any white war movie or white boxing slash MMA movie is got Lose Yourself or one of his
Right.
other big movies. I'm not afraid, all that crap. So yeah, it was gonna be M. It's not a question. So it is what it is, and we know that it is what it is. So yeah, you got that. But yeah, it is a damn shame, and it is weird, and it makes you kind of feel kind of itchy inside. The
Yeah.
fact that homeboy had to wait
He's
this
going to
long
everybody else ceremony like y'all
for
don't
real.
see me, you know, and the fact that he's a native. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. Bro, I live here. I'm from the soil. What's going on, man? What are y'all doing? Really?
Yeah,
Another smack in the face. I got to keep attending all these dudes that I produce. They whole the people that I put on the scene. Okay.
I mean, car, I mean, the car wash wasn't a Grammy smash, man. I mean, wasn't an Oscar smash, man.
I get it, but it's his touch. You know, the Dre
No,
touch, man.
no,
You know, come on, man.
no.
Like,
I
dude,
get exactly what you're saying, and I'm making jokes,
right.
but it is long overdue. Um, it makes me have to go back and look, like how many other producers, meaning producers, composers, or whatever, have stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I would be curious to see, because that's
You're right.
with
You're
the
right.
fact of, you know what I'm saying, these people getting on now recently with everybody that we ran off. I would be curious to see like John Williams, Hans Zimmerman, all like that. Do they have stars? And I should
Right.
have done the research, but I'm gonna check on that, because
Yeah.
that would be interesting if like I would say that would kind of be funny, and would them cats feel some kind of way
Right.
if you know what I'm saying? It's like these
I
cats on
just
there, you
saw,
know.
what was it, a couple months ago? George Clinton just got his.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know,
And I mean,
it is weird, you know.
it's weird how long it takes for it to happen, and I never bothered to look and see if, because it's always been associated with acting, I never
Yeah.
bothered to look at what gets into getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Because even with Kat going and paying for Melba Moore's,
Mm.
I'm like, Melba Moore, I mean, I understand she did her thing, but you know, what's the requirement? So that's another thing we're gonna have to go and look back at, and
What's the requirements of
maybe
yeah.
even go and look at, okay, so who's your next that should have one? That
Mm.
would be, you know what I'm saying, once we look at the requirements, like, okay,
Right.
so who should have one now? Because I mean, we got some upstarts that, as far as literally rappers turned actors, because Joey Badass is killing it right now. And I want to say Joey Badass was up for an Emmy nod, I believe.
Okay.
With his YouTube, not YouTube, with his Netflix short
Mm.
that he did, he was up for an Emmy nod. And
Okay.
so you got cast is doing it with crossing over into the acting game and all like that. And then you got somebody like here, was it Most Def up for an Oscar nod for the playing early Ben Carson?
Yeah, he should have shit.
I don't
For
think he got the Oscar. I think he got the nod for
not.
it.
Yeah, I think most definitely he should have a star, man. He's been acting since what was the Cosby Mysteries or whatever.
Cosby
Yeah,
Mysteries, and then that one little sitcom he had. But he's been around TV and film
for
forever, man.
years. So definitely, like you said, man, we definitely have to bring this back and do the full. What are the requirements to get your Hollywood star, and who is on the voting committee? You know, who
Yeah,
does the voting? You know, like where does that come from? Is it, you know, just in Hollywood? Is it like a whole a wide casted net of just certain individuals from all over the, you know, from the entertainment to business to whatever field? I want to, I'm kind of interested now.
I,
Yeah,
I,
because I
I,
just
I
thought it
could
was crazy.
I could tell you who ain't gonna get one right now.
Take that star off. I don't know if he got it already, but I'm not sure.
I don't believe
You
he
think he
did.
has
I can
one?
tell I can tell you who ain't gonna get one.
Wow. That is fucking funny. That is funny. You're right. he just ruined that one. Yeah, and yeah, before we get up on out of here, man, I like to say a special condolences, to the Lou Gossett Jr. pass.
Oh yeah, the
His
family of Lou
family.
Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. Fuck.
That
I'm
one
sure.
hurts. That one
Yeah.
hurts, man. Because
Yeah.
I just literally the night before the announcement came out, I was at the gig, and he was literally on my mind, like, yo, I ain't seen him in nothing. I ain't, I ain't checked nothing. Ain't been no appearances, nothing else. And
And
then the next day it's like, oh, he passed.
he passed.
It's
Yeah.
like that's
That's how that
crazy,
goes,
man.
man. But rest in paradise to Lou Gossett Jr. and condolences out to his family.
Yeah, man. This is wild times, man. Wild times with everything. And going back and shoveling a little bit of dirt on homeboy's career grave right now.
Yeah. Speaking of deaths, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So I going with separating the artist from the situation, because I'm pretty sure I would be shocked if Harvey Weinstein doesn't have a star right now. They need to just have a walk of shame, walk of fame section, and just go ahead and start shoveling folks over in there, like move them stars in, like, because the impact of what they did, get Roman Polanski, Harvey Weinstein, Puffy, whatever,
Right.
get them their own little section there. We don't
Or-
sweep that section as much. We don't polish those stars up as much.
Yeah, or put a little symbol on, like an asterisk on a corner. I'm like, this is one of those suspect stars, but that's my opinion. That's all I'm just saying, for those who are on there, because, there's a lot of folks who have those stars who a big bunch of question marks behind their name. So, yeah, man.
Behind their name and behind how they've behaved and carried on. But yeah, man, we definitely got to see what these requirements are and what this stuff means, because that is absolute. It gets wild, man. It
Mhm.
gets really, really freaking wild with who can be and can't be included in that, man.
Mhm.
We might have to come up with an infamous list too, man.
We could do that.
Who doesn't have one, or who already has one that needs to go into that relocation section right there. It's
Mhm.
like,
That they taking up valuable real estate. Like, you have to relocate that star to somewhere else. Like out here, they have the neon graveyard where they take all the old signs and shit and
yeah,
just put it off in the corner. That's exactly what they need to do with some of these celebrities, former celebrities.
exactly, man.
But yes,
Exactly.
sir. Thank you again for another great show. We'll
Definitely,
definitely
brother.
run that back.
Man, I had a good time as always, man. Good to clown out, get on some foolishness, call out the
Yes, sir.
foolishness on some stuff.
Yes, sir.
Good time. We ate it up. Good to see you again, brother. Thank you once again to all subscribers. Like, share. Get more people coming through, because we trying to hit that 1,000. Because once we hit 1,000, we'll be at 10,000 a week later. I'm telling you, man. It's
Oh yeah,
happening.
as the kids say, I'm be acting real light skinned after that. So go ahead, man. Real light skin after we hit that. So go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, I'm be up there talking all types of trash, man, and getting these comments, man. We don't want to just talk to you. We want to talk with you.
There
So
you
get
go.
in these comments. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see, what we need to bring to the table. We definitely want to bring y'all the show that y'all want, and we enjoy the feedback. We enjoy the run around. And if y'all got some comedy, I mean, y'all usually go for 3 PMD. Y'all go for their neck. And we enjoy the heat. We ain't, you know what I'm saying?
We'll take that.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're scared we got too many jokes, but whatever the case is, we enjoy it. We can have fun with the banter. So get with us. We'll holler. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna let you go and get your chill time on, man. And I'm about to get ready to get out and get ready for work, man. So
all right, fam. Be safe. Take
happy
care. Love
Easter,
you, fam.
everybody. Happy Easter.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.